Today I want to talk about relationships. Now, today being Valentine's Day, I'm not talking about romantic relationships, but I want to talk about everyday relationships that we have, the ones that make the world go round. And specifically, I want to talk about the rhythm of a relationship. Now, with everything going on in the world, and no, not that stuff, but with the Grammys just ending, and today being Valentine's Day, I thought today would be a fantastic day to talk about that. Because rhythm has to do with music, it has to do with movement. It's a boom, click, boom, click. Some relationships just have a great, great rhythm. So you talk about rhythm and relationships. First, you need to define what a rhythm is. A rhythm is a strong, regular, repeated pattern or movement. Let's think about that. A strong, regular, repeated pattern or movement. That's a rhythm. What is a relationship? The way in which two people are connected or just a state of being connected. So when you think about the rhythm of a relationship, a strong, repeated pattern of movement with being connected, that's how some of our relationships work. So who do we have relationships with? We have a relationship with coworkers. We have a relationship with friends. We have a relationship with customers. And by the way, if you didn't know it, we do have internal and external customers. We have a relationship with clients. We even have relationships with people we don't know. Why would you say that, James? Because the Super Bowl just left Houston. Super Bowl 51, one of the greatest games people say. And no matter how you felt when you watched that game, you felt one way or the other about Tom Brady. And then what happened to the relationship? That's what happens to us in life. We have these win-win relationships where somebody goes boom, you go click. It goes boom, you go click. It goes boom, you go click. That's a win-win relationship. What happens when you go boom and somebody goes click? You weren't expecting that. Something happened to the relationship. So did it go from win-win to win-lose? What happened to the rhythm? It goes boom, click. Or it goes click, boom. Something changed. So how do we overcome? How do we deal with? How do we handle when the relationship is no longer the rhythm that we thought it was? How do we handle that? The first thing I think we need to do is recognize that the relationship has changed. Recognize it. I'm not getting what I thought I was getting. I'm not getting what I expected to get. I was looking for something and something changed. Either I changed or they changed. How do we overcome that? Recognition, the first thing. Once we recognize that it's changed, it's easy to make adjustments. So if the rhythm is boom, click, do I need to slow my boom down? Do I need to recognize that the click has changed? Do I need to step back and say, what have I done differently? That's the recognition, me. It starts with me. It starts with the person in the mirror. It starts with who I am. Did I change? Once we realize we didn't change, then did they change? Why did they change? How did they change? And do I want the relationship to get back where it was? Every relationship is not salvageable. Do I want to get it back to where it was? If I want to get it back to where it was, I have to communicate. I need to reach out. I need to say, hey, I realize something has changed with you. We're not the same. We don't play like we used to play. We're not in the boom, click like we were. I want to get back to where it was. Starts communication. But you may not want to get back to where it was. You may not want to. You may say, you know what, this doesn't work. I'm going to hate Tom Brady for the rest of my life. It happens. Everything doesn't work. So what do we do when the relationship was once working in this win-win? How do we get the win-win that turns to win-lose back to win-win? It's communication. It's what we are. It's who we are. It's a rhythm, and it's a rhythm to every relationship we have. Remember, the relationship is just a state of being. The rhythm is a strong, regular, repeated pattern. I urge us on today, after the Grammys, after we heard all the music and all the thank yous and all that, and after today being about love, to think about the relationship we have. Think about the rhythm of them, and what do we do to keep the rhythm where it's supposed to be? Thank you.